Much for playing today, Tony, at Wood Nickel. We really had a good time.
Bob, you're welcome. I'm very glad to be here. It was a wonderful experience, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
And let's start a little bit. I know you have a really musical family. You want to tell me a little bit about your family and how they got into music? And...
Well, I would definitely say that it started with my grandmother. My grandmother was a classically trained opera singer.
Okay.
She never went out and explored it, further than singing at home, but had a glorious voice. My dad thus learned, so singing was kind of in the family. My grandfather is the longest standing member in the cathedral choir.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
All right.
87. He's been in the
Oh my
cathedral
gosh.
choir, I think, since he was like 10 or 12 or something like
Wow,
that. So
wow.
his entire life. And so singing is in the family.
Okay.
My dad learned how to play the piano at a very young age. They tried to get me to learn how to play the piano at a very young age, but I had problems with practicing.
Okay.
I got involved in musical theater.
Right.
When
That's where I know you from.
Probably third or fourth grade,
Yes.
I got involved in musical theater, and that was kind of what really got me into performing. What really kind of got the itch in me.
And plus, you were on stage, so you got over that whole stage fright thing.
And so my dad back in the day, he had a band called the East Bank Boogie Band, and they would practice at Mom and Dad at our house.
Oh, okay.
When we were little kids, we went to bed to music every night. We went to bed to rock and roll every single night. And so music was it was either Dad practicing by himself or it was a band in the house practicing and playing. And my dad was a church musician, and so he played organ, piano, guitar, and so he did folk music as well. And so I grew up with a lot of the folk influence, the James Taylor type influence, and so I always loved that sound of music, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Fleetwood Mac, all of that stuff.
Harmonies and so like
yeah, that's what I grew. That's what I grew up
Yeah.
on. And adding Tower of Power and Earth, Wind and Fire and Blood, Sweat, and Tears to the mix, but. This gained a real affinity for music. When I was about 10 years old, I said, "Dad, teach me how to play Cats in the Cradle. I want to know how to play."
Very Chapin, yeah. Okay.
So Dad taught me how to play that, and I learned how to play the guitar. And so everything, pretty much what I've learned on the guitar, I've picked up along the way. Had a couple of lessons here along the way with local artists. So put a plug out for James Root. He's a great guitar player, great teacher. So I had a couple lessons with James.
Yeah, he played here recently, actually.
Yes, and a lot of the music I really picked up along the way. I kind of never steered clear from the guitar, kind of left piano behind, did musical theater for quite some time. When I got into high school, I got into jazz, way into jazz, played the trumpet for a while. A lot of guys who played Unlikely Alibi, Freak Brothers, I played with a lot of those guys, but I played jazz, and so was away from the singing for a while. Always kept on singing, but got into college, got back into musical theater again, kind of put the horn down.
Right.
So I sing, so now with the influences of jazz, the influences of my guitar, the folk music, the theater, one day I decided that I wanted to start writing songs. And I picked up my guitar and just started writing. And one of the first songs I ever wrote was a song that I played today, Faith, which was a song about my daughter and the inspiration that she was me through some tough medical times we went with her. And I fell in love with songwriting. And so I just, would pick up the guitar and I just, played around and, I started writing songs now. I'd say it was probably, my daughter's 7 years old. So I'd say about 7 years ago is when I started writing songs. Okay. And one day I was just inspired and I started writing Christian music. And I've written Christian music, secular music. I've written a lot of it, but I felt a need to put all of my spiritual walk, I felt like I needed to record it, and so that's when I came up with the idea. I said, I'm going to do a solo acoustic Christian album, put all of my stuff down, and then you end up not putting all your stuff down, but at least getting a little bit of my walk down, even for, if anything, for my children to hear what Daddy went through. And so this songs on Open Me are just about who I am and my faith journey. And so that's kind of what, the path that somewhat led me here. And, my dad helped me with, you might want to do this here, do that there. And, help me with my songwriting along the way. And then, you just kind of get creative and you just go for it and kind of throw caution into the wind and see what happens. And, and so it's been a very, very good experience for me. So.
And today your regular job actually is kind of interesting. You're a dance instructor.
Yes, I am. I actually dance I teach ballroom dancing at American Style Ballroom here in
Wow.
Fort Wayne
Wow.
for my cousin Patrick Didier. And then to add to that, I am a professional American rhythm dancer, and so
Wow.
I compete professionally with my fiance. And
Wow.
so I teach dance
You're
lessons.
just-
I teach dance lessons Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and then I'm a daddy at night, and, and play music on the weekends.
Yeah, you're
And
just everywhere.
yeah, I do what I can,
good.
but
That's good.
the arts have become my life. Music
Yeah.
and dancing and expression has really truly become, my drive and my focus with
Do
my
you
life.
do you still do any theater at all?
You know what? I haven't done any theater
For a while?
I
Yeah.
took a break from that when my kiddos were little because
Okay.
it was so much time away from
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's quite
and,
time-consuming.
Daddy needs to be home, and I had to step away from it a while.
Yeah.
I think someday,
You'll get
someday I'll
back on
make my
stage.
way back. But for right now, I'm focusing on my songwriting,
Okay.
my singing. Every now and again I'll play down at Club Soda and sing some jazz or.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, do you play in churches and that type of thing also at all?
My goal is to get into that.
Okay,
I would love to
okay.
get out and play in local churches and spread the gospel, as they say.
Yeah.
As well, just playing other music out, doing dinners, at
And you might want to tell me a little bit about what you're doing with your dad. Like, I just found out you're playing tonight, for
yes,
example.
yeah, playing at the Green Frog tonight. We play down at the Green Frog together. It's not too many guys get an opportunity to play music live with their dad.
And what type of music do you all play when you play it with your father?
It's very much in the style of what I kind of played today. Other than it's not Christian music because we're playing in a bar, but
Yeah.
we cover all the acoustic folk rock genre.
Okay.
Everything from Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
So a lot
we'll
of-
even do John Denver, James Taylor.
So a lot of cover
Neil
work,
Diamond.
in other
a
words.
lot of cover work.
Yeah.
And then I'll play quite a few of my originals. Within that set. That eventually my next album is going to be those originals that are not of Christian nature, but are still a part of me and a part of my journey. And as any acoustic guy, any acoustic singer songwriter tell you, that's what it's all about. So it's all about what you've experienced in the walk, and because
Yeah.
those songs are honest, and if anything people would take from my music, and especially from this album, is that it's just who I am.
Yeah.
This is my walk. This is where I've been. This is what I've gone through, and this is how I felt going through it. And
Yeah.
thankfully I had the man upstairs, and had the man upstairs behind me, and kind of helping me along the way. So
Well, great. Thank you very much once again for playing today, Tony.
Bob,
we had
I
a great
appreciate
time. And good luck with hopefully a second album.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right now we
Yeah.
have a Wood
Right
Nickel.
now.
We have
Open
Tony's
Me,
new
Tony
album.
Didier. It's a solo acoustic Christian album, and what's the price, Bob?
$11.99.
$11.99. So come on, it's at any of the Wood Nickel locations. So
All right. Thanks again, Tony.
you're welcome, Bob. Thank you.
Yeah.